Retargeting website visitors used to be a great way to bring in low-cost leads and sales using Facebook and Instagram ads. But since iOS 14.5, where Apple brought in App Tracking Transparency or ATT and kind of neutered the Facebook pixel, this strategy doesn't work anywhere near as well. And that's because the match rate on those website visitor custom audiences has dropped dramatically. Or in other words, only a small percentage of the people who actually visit your website are able to be added to custom audiences and retargeted across Facebook's range of platforms. So that strategy is basically gone. But the good news is there's a better way to retarget warm audiences in the current landscape, and that's actually using Instagram Reels. Here's why. The first reason is because Instagram actually favors Reels over all other types of content at the moment, meaning that if you post Instagram Reels, you get more organic reach across the platform than you do posting any other content type. Take a look at this Instagram Reel that I just posted that in less than 24 hours got over 8,000 views. But if we look at my Instagram account, it's actually quite sad. I've only got a little over 2,000 followers. However, even with that low follow count, I was able to reach over 8,000 people with one reel. Now that kind of reach with any other type of content on social media is pretty much unheard of. Now, just as a side note, if you want to follow me on Instagram, either because you're interested in the content that I'm sharing, or just because you feel a bit sorry for me and my low follower count, either way, I really don't mind. You can find me there at Andrew N. Hubbard. Now, the great thing about Reels videos or any videos on Meta, meaning Facebook, Instagram, or any other platform that Meta owns, is that unlike website visitors or anything that happens on an external app or website, Facebook can actually track exactly what the users are doing because it's happening inside their platforms. So everyone that watches a video on Instagram or Facebook can be tracked. The iOS privacy changes don't actually have any effect on that. And that basically is why this strategy that I'm about to show you works so well. Here's how to take advantage of it. The first thing to do, of course, is post regular Reels to Facebook and Instagram. If you're not familiar with them, these are short, 60-second vertical videos. And if you haven't created Reels before, one thing I'll tell you is that what you're going to notice is some will do really well and some won't. You have to stick with it. You have to post in volume, meaning I would recommend at least 3 posts a week if you're going to make this work. You're also going to get better over time as you do this. You'll learn what works and what doesn't. You'll get better at coming up with content ideas, and you'll also get better on camera as well. So once you get some momentum and you start getting some views on your Reels, it's time to move on to the next part of this strategy, which is to take those viewers and get them onto your email list. Because once they're on your email list, then you can continue to engage with them, and hopefully some of them will then become customers. So to do that, the first thing you need to do is head over to the Facebook Ad Manager. You're going to come into the Ad Manager, click on the menu on the left, and go to the Audiences tab. Now what we're going to do here is create a new custom audience that contains everybody who's recently viewed your Reels videos. So we go Create Audience, click Custom Audience, and then select Video. Click Next. Choose a content type. Now you can see here, you can actually target people based on how much of your videos they've watched. I'm going to choose at least 3 seconds because that's going to give me the largest possible audience here. Then you can click Choose Videos, select your Instagram page, so select Instagram Business Profile, and select the Instagram account or profile that you want to use, and you'll see all of the recent videos, including Reels, that have been posted to this Instagram account. Now here you can select which videos you want to use as a base for this custom audience. You can select one or many. In this case, I recommend choosing every single video available that is relevant. If you put videos on there that aren't relevant to whatever it is you're offering for free to get people onto your email list, then obviously I wouldn't select them. But as long as they're all relevant, then you should select as many as you possibly can. And you can see next to each video here, it actually shows how many 3-second video views each video has had. And you'll notice that all of these have at least 1,000 views. So by selecting all of them, we're going to have quite a good custom audience here containing tens of thousands of people that we can use to show our ads to. Once you've selected the videos, hit confirm, give your audience a name, and then click Create Audience. Okay, once you do that, you're going to see your new audience appear here in the Audience Manager, and you'll see the estimated audience size says populating. Now that can take a few hours to populate, so the key here is just waiting and giving it some time, but you don't actually have to wait till that's populated before creating your ads. So I would go straight from this step to creating your ads, but I wouldn't set your ads to live until this audience is fully populated, because then you're going to get an estimate as to how large that audience is, and that will help you set your daily budget as well. All right, so now you've got that audience, simply go back over to the Ad Manager, All Tools, click Ad Manager, and then we're going to create a new campaign. So we click Create, and you're going to select a leads campaign, because what we're going to do here is we're going to turn our video viewers into leads or email subscribers. And the way we're going to do that is by running ads to a free opt-in or a free lead magnet. So from here, we simply give our campaign a name and then click Next. Now we move on to the ad set setup, and we're going to first give that a name. And now the conversion location we're going to choose is going to be website. And the reason for that is because in this campaign, we're going to send people to an opt-in form that lives on a website or a web page where they can enter their name and email address and sign up for the email list. Now down here, we choose our conversion event. I'm using the lead conversion event for this particular opt-in. Keep scrolling down, set your budget. I recommend starting at around $20 per day as a minimum, but this will depend on the size of your audience, and I'll circle back to this shortly. All right, go down here, and in the custom audience section here, you want to select the custom audience that you just created. So we'll choose IG video viewers, 365 days. So you'll see over here, we've got estimated daily results, and the reach actually says less than 10. That's because, as I showed you before, this audience is actually still populating. So it's not ready to be used yet. We just need to give that a bit of time. Okay, so now we go down. The one thing I will say we want to do here is create one more custom audience. So I click the exclude button. We actually need to create a new custom audience, and then we're going to create a website custom audience. Click Next. Now I want to create an audience here based on people who visit specific web pages. And what I'm going to do is every time somebody opts into my email list, they hit a specific thank you page. And I want to create an audience that contains everybody who's hit that thank you page, meaning everybody who's opted into my email list already, so I can exclude them from seeing ads in the future. Now, as you know, this isn't going to be perfect because not everybody gets matched when they hit a website with the pixel. It's just the way Apple's iOS privacy changes have affected things. But this is better than nothing, so I would certainly set this up. So we're going to choose people who visit specific web pages. We're going to choose 180 days, where the URL contains, and for me, the example I'm going to use is this page here. Okay, so in this particular example, the thank you page that people see after opting into the email list is brightestbeginning.com/thank-you. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste that here. So this is not the page where people actually opt into the list. It's the thank you page they see after opting into the list. All right, I'm going to enter that. I'm going to give it a name and click Create Audience. Click Done. And now you need to make sure here, you can see what's happened is that's actually been added to my targeting list. So I need to remove the opted into list, click Exclude, and make sure I put that in the exclude section. Really important, because otherwise we'd be targeting them instead of excluding them. So we're targeting our Instagram video viewers and we're excluding people who've already opted in. Scroll down, set up your ad how you normally would. So you would select your locations, any particular age settings that you want to target, if you only want to target a particular age group, gender, everything else. You do not want to select any interest targeting options here or anything else. We only want to show these ads to people who've viewed our Instagram Reels in the last 365 days. You can see here, I've also removed the countries or the locations from this list, meaning it's going to show my ads to anybody from anywhere who has watched my videos. And I'm okay with that because I know that most of my audience on Instagram are from the US, Canada, UK, and Australia. So I'm totally fine to run the ad like this. If you did want to only target specific countries, then you should definitely put them in this list though to make sure that happens. Okay, so now we scroll down. I like to use all placements, so I'm going to leave it on that. And I'm going to leave the optimization here as conversions, and I'm not going to set my cost per result goal or anything like that. So I did mention that I would come back up here and talk about daily budget again. So what you'll notice, once the custom audience has populated in the next hour or two, you'll start to see this reach changes. You might need to refresh the page to see it, but you'll see that you actually get a proper number here in reach. What you can then do is you can change your daily budget based on that. So you'll notice that as you change your budget, the reach changes until it sort of hits a cap. I would change my daily budget so that it reaches about half of whatever that cap is. So if I change my budget to $100 a day and my reach goes to, let's say 3,000 people or 4,000 people, then I might change it to 150. And if it stays at 4,000 people, I know that, well, the most I can spend is around $100 a day. I'm going to cut that to $50 at most, maybe even 25. Mainly so I don't exhaust the audience. I don't want to be hitting my entire audience every single day, multiple times a day, because if I do that, within a day or two, they're going to be suffering from ad fatigue and they're going to be sick of seeing the exact same ads from me in their newsfeed. So I would start with a smaller budget and work up versus starting with a really big budget and exhausting the audience within 1 to 2 days. All right, so now we simply go down, click next, and finally we set up our ad. So we would choose our Facebook page here, choose our Instagram account, and then go through and set up the ad as you normally would. Give it an image or a video, text, headline, and link. Now what we're going to do in this case is we're going to link to our opt-in page. So it's really important just to remember the goal here is to get email subscribers. So we want to send them to an opt-in form. The form I'm going to send them to in this example is this one, where they can click this button, opt in, and jump on the email list. So we enter those details. As I said, you would give it a headline and primary text and everything here. I'm not going to walk you through that in the video. But once you've done that, you'd come down here, make sure you select the website where your conversions are going to occur, meaning the domain where your thank you page is sitting. And then once all of this is ready to go, you're simply going to click that publish button and set your campaigns live. Now, after you do that, of course, within the next few days, you're going to start seeing leads coming in. Now, a couple of things to keep an eye on once that happens. First of all is you want to watch your lead costs. And I normally watch my lead costs over a 4 to 5 day rolling average. I try not to watch lead costs daily because especially with a smaller audience like this, they do tend to fluctuate quite dramatically. So you need to level that out over a period of a minimum 4 to 5 days, ideally a week, depending on what you're comfortable with. Now, eventually you will notice that your cost per lead is going to start to rise. That's because this audience, as I said, is relatively small for a Facebook ad audience, and you're going to eventually exhaust that audience, meaning the people in the audience who are going to convert will convert, and well, the people who aren't, and they're going to start getting sick of seeing your ads. So if you start seeing your lead costs rising, the way to know if it is ad fatigue or if you're exhausting your audience is to look at your frequency score. Now, the frequency score in the ad manager will tell you how many times on average each person inside your target audience has seen your ads. Once your frequency on a warm audience like this gets up to about 6 or 7, then you are going to be really exhausting that audience, and that's going to be the cause of your lead cost. So look at your cost per lead. If it starts rising, check your frequency. If it's getting up 5, 6, 7, that kind of range, then the cause is likely ad fatigue. At that point, you've got two options. You can pause the ads and restart them at a later date, give them a few weeks rest, or you can try refreshing the ads, put in all new creative or new copy, and see if that helps bring your lead costs back down. So this is a particularly good strategy if you have a big organic following on social media, or if you're new to Facebook and Instagram ads. And even if you don't have much of a following on social media, you can do what I just said with Reels organically to build that quickly and start to use these audiences. It's a really low risk strategy, and although it doesn't scale well, it should be one of the first things you do because it brings in those cheap leads and those low cost sales by targeting your really warm audiences, people who already know, like, and trust you a little bit first. Now, if you want to go and try this, I just skipped over the ad creation process, which is kind of important, but I've got 2 more videos on that you should check out now. Check out this one to learn how to create great images, and check out this one to learn how to write great copy for your ads. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.